Let's quickly talk, while I have you, Senator, on the raid on the office, the home, the hotel room of the president's longtime personal attorney in New York, Michael Cohen. We're told Democrats are huddling up on Capitol Hill right now at possible actions if the president tries to fire the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, or the Attorney General Jeff Sessions, for that matter, or Robert Mueller, the special counsel. What can you tell us about the huddling that's going on behind the scenes?
Well, I think there's a serious concern among us that the president may be on the verge of creating a constitutional crisis, where we have a Saturday night massacre where he fires the attorney general, possibly the deputy attorney general, therefore firing the special counsel, and at the same time creating an essence of where he takes over what is an appropriate and legitimate investigation. And so what's the response of Congress, particularly the Senate, and if that were to happen? I hope it doesn't. But if it were to happen, that would be, in my mind, a constitutional crisis. And so our hope is that we can engage our Republican colleagues to have a bipartisan message and a bipartisan action that is very clear. First, don't do this, Mr. President. Don't create the constitutional crisis. And secondly, if you do, there have to be serious consequences. And I hope that our colleagues, if this were to happen, were to join us as patriots and not partisans.
Yeah, you heard Chuck Grassley, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, a Republican, of course, say if the president were to fire Mueller, it would be an act of suicide, strongly urging him not to do so. The president, though, is blasting the raids on the offices of his personal attorney, Michael Cohen. He called it, as you know, a disgraceful situation. He says it's an attack on our country. This morning, he says it's a witch hunt once again. You've had some experience with federal prosecutors, as you well know. What are your thoughts about the president's very, very brutal response to what has happened?
Look, the president may not be happy with what's happening, but to say that it is an attack upon our country when he can't invoke Russia and Putin having truly attacked our country in a cyber attack that sought to undermine our democracy and still does so today is pretty outrageous. This is a process, whether you like it or not, in which obviously Mueller found information, referred it back to the Deputy Attorney General, who referred it to the Southern District of New York, who independently reviewed it, and then went before a federal judge and had to create a substantiated effort to try to get a subpoena and a search warrant, which they did. And so that's the legal process. To say that that's an attack, that's the essence of the rule of law. If you happen to be the recipient of it, you don't like it, but it's still the essence of the rule of law. And so I find it outrageous that he says it's an attack upon our country when he can't invoke the attack that Russia and Putin have created on our country in terms of the cyber attacks that have taken place, that were seeking to affect the last presidential election, and that are amidst of trying to affect these elections as we speak, moving into 2018.
Senator Menendez, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.